So, my friend, have you ever gone silent when it mattered most? Walked away from a conversation thinking, oh, that's what I should have said. Or felt your message got completely lost in translation? Well, you're not alone and in the right place. Welcome to Breaking Bad Communication, where we challenge the habits, headspace, and hangups that keep you from being heard. My name is Kathy Riley, communication strategist, founder of the Clarity Code, and your guide with over 25 years in the courtroom and 15 as a speaker, trainer, and entrepreneur. This podcast is your real world playbook for mastering tough conversations, building unshakable confidence, and showing up with the kind of clarity that changes everything from boardrooms to break rooms to your own backyard. So, if you're ready to ditch the second guessing and speak in a way that actually lands and builds trusts, let us break bad together. And today I am fired up because we have none other than, yes, let's ring the bell.
Let's
Ah,
go.
let's ring the
Woo!
bell. Yes, for my friend and the superstar rock star, Mr. Danielle. Oh my God, I don't know where that came from. Oh my goodness, Daniel
That's
Gomez. He is the
Daniel Gold
catalyst
Inspires.
for change, the catalyst for change. He is passionate about uplifting businesses and organizations, helping them to reach their full potential through his training and coaching programs. He has enabled his clients to attain remarkable success in both their personal and professional lives. As an international best-selling author, his book, The Makings of a Millionaire Mind, aims to provide individuals with the correct approach, attitude, and spirit to become millionaires in a way that aligns with divine principles, preventing them from self destruction and self implosion. Please welcome my friend. Hello there, sir.
Woo!
How you doing?
I'm ringing the
Oh,
bell.
he's
I'm
ringing the
excited.
bell. Whoa, whoa.
It's
I am so.
Friday. I'm excited. And you know what? Thank you for having me on your show. It's an honor to be here with you, Kathy. I just love your energy. I love your vibe. And I'm excited to just have fun with you and add some value to your amazing audience. So thank you for having me today.
Oh, my pleasure, my pleasure. We have known each other for a few years now, and I got to tell you, there every time we're in the same room, there's not many people that have that energy, and you're one of them. You exude happiness, confidence, and you're just all that in a bag of chips. So thank you for being here.
Well, thank you. I truly believe that charisma and enthusiasm is a key part of success. And see,
Yeah.
people say, well, I don't want to be loud. I'm like, you're missing the point. No, I'm not saying be loud. I'm saying be enthusiastic in your own way. Let the charisma come out of you in your own way. And it's not being loud, it's just opening your heart to let the Spirit of God move through you to touch the people that need to be taught. And I just came from Detroit. I had a big presentation over there, and these guys are blue collar, different audience. And I just spoke from a point of real transparency. And you know what I opened up with, Kathy?
Tell me.
I was molested as a kid, and they didn't
The,
expect that.
wow.
All right.
Yeah, that'll blow anybody away, including
Right.
me. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I don't even know that I knew that.
Well, I'm not sorry about it, right? It's like I don't say that for people to feel sorry for me in
Right.
general, because it's just people are scared to talk about what's going on in their lives, and that's the real thing
Yeah.
that businesses need. That's the real thing that people need. There's tons of influencers out there. You speak, I speak, and one thing that I'll say pisses me off is that when you hear somebody speak and you see them behind the stage and you're like, dude, girl, you're not even practicing what you speak on stage. You're talking about success and you're leaving in a broken down car. You're talking about success and abundance and you're over here counting pennies about a flight. I'm like, I hear what you're saying, but what you're saying is not aligning what you just spoke on stage. And when I went on stage, it was like they leaned in, and
Yeah.
the one guy, I truly believe, because I said that I was molested as a child, I was vulnerable, and went deeper, this one gentleman came up to me and said, "Man, thank you. I needed to hear what you talked about today." He was like, it touched him. The owner came up to me and said, "I'm bringing you back." So
Yeah.
because I was vulnerable, it gave me another multi-thousand dollar contract.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing. I think, thank you for sharing that. First of all, thank you for sharing that and being vulnerable with our audience today. But don't you think that most people are afraid to be vulnerable?
Yes and yes, because I wasn't always like that. I was always a tough guy. My daughter, I think I heard she's like a sounding board to me, and she says, "Man, Dad, you've changed." And I think that I don't think I ever really wanted to change because I didn't have to change.
Yeah.
And I don't say that arrogantly, but it's like if you don't like me, you can unfriend me. That was my attitude, which is good to an extent because you don't want to be a people pleaser either. But I think to an extent too, right? It can come across the wrong way. And I think I'm at the point of our lives, right? I'm entering my 8th year of business. We've been very successful by God's grace. But I think the next level for me was really having a heart of, if I have to put it in 3 ways, right? Having a, not that I didn't have love and compassion, but having a heart full of more love, more compassion, and more forgiveness. Because the higher you go, people love you till their level of success. But once you surpass them, now they're judging you and criticizing you because the energy they have is jealousy because they desire what you want. And it's people that you trusted that this comes from. And I never really saw it like that. But when my coach told me that, he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "You know what jealousy is?" I'm like, "What's jealousy?" It's energy that desires what you possess without putting in the investment, right? People
Yeah.
desire what you possess, but they don't want to put in the investment, whether it's monetary energy, time wise, and so it's been a great. I don't want to say growth, right? Because I believe this. Right, this, ladies and gentlemen, you grow in skill set, but you mature in character. And I think you and I both know that people that grow in skill set, they grow, but they can't maintain it, right? For me, I've
Yeah.
always been successful. I've always maintained it. I've never been without by God's grace, right? We've paid off a house, we paid off cars, we paid off. I had the skill set to maintain it, but then I needed to work on my character because sometimes it's just there's another level that you got to go to. And for me, it's just being more loving, more compassionate, and more forgiving because people are going to piss you off and hurt you.
What?
Yeah.
What? No, I don't believe that. Yeah, yeah, I do. I'm shaking my head. Yes, I do believe
Let
that.
me ring the bell for that one.
Yeah, let's just go.
That's
Yeah.
a bell ringer.
Uh, uh, so let me ask you this. Okay, so with that journey that you've been on, especially most recently developing that character, what's clearly you broke bad, right? So when we talk about breaking bad habits and all that, what's one thing that you shifted to show up differently in your character?
When God asked me to give him 6 months of sobriety,
Ah,
because you find out quickly, it's when a friend of mine told me, right, this is what's required of you for this next season to get to there. God wants you to be 6 months sober, and you and I both know, right? Everybody, you go to these events and there's happy hour, you do these things, and I really asked myself, can I do it? And I said, God, if this is of you, like give me the strength. And I went 6 months. And the thing is, this happened like our event. This happened like the first week of November. That following week was our Millionaire Mind boot camp, and it's like I didn't even. It's like there was no time to prepare. You were either in or out, or you believed it or you didn't. And I think too many people overanalyze stuff. Yeah, they overthink it. And I'm
yeah,
like, and I just said, God, if this is of you, I need you to just give me the strength. And I did it, right? I tell people I had the triple. I won the triple, the triple crown last year. My first Thanksgiving sober, my first Christmas sober, my first New Year's sober, and in over decades.
yeah,
And it was just good because it helped me. So now I can control, like, you know what? I don't need another glass of wine. I'm done.
yeah.
And no one ever arrives. I'm not saying that because I arrived, but I'm just saying that it gave me clarity and it gave me a shift in me. And what I noticed in this is people started falling off. You're not drinking, or people that used to come to like there's just an energy shift. Like it's and it's real, and people don't see that because when you decide to do something and you stick to it,
Yeah.
people are like, "Well, what's wrong?" Well, nothing's wrong. I'm not drinking right now,
Yeah.
and it is what it is. But some people can't comprehend that because they're like, "Well, what's wrong?" Well, nothing's wrong. It's good. So that in that shift of me doing that, it just kind of took me to another level. But I will tell you this in all transparency, it did hurt because I did lose some people that I loved along the way. But
Oh.
I realized that they didn't have my best interest, and they had their own interest deeper than what you could see, right? They had their self best
Yeah.
interest, and they didn't have my best interest. And but it's okay. You got to understand that sometimes the most profound wisdom is right in front of us, but
Yeah.
we don't see it because we don't want to see it. And I don't know who needs to hear this, but every business is going to have a Judas in it. If Jesus had a Judas,
Oh.
you're going to have a Judas. It's
Yeah.
why? Because that's what builds your character. What else is going
Yeah.
to build your character? What else is going to build your character?
I
Think about
love
this.
that.
I'll give you another analogy. Think about this, right? So Daniel, okay, well I don't believe in God. Great. Okay, well let me give you another example, right? You have a great business, you're positive, so Judas is a negative. So I'm going to give you the earthly version of it. Raise your hand if you have a car, everybody, pretty much in America,
Yeah. Not if you're
right?
driving. Keep two hands on the wheel.
But what if you want to look at the characteristics of God, look at a battery. What does a battery have on it? Positive
Cables.
post,
Oh,
a positive post, and a what?
negative.
There's not two positives on a battery.
Nope.
So you need to have right? You need to have a negative to appreciate the positive.
True. Oh, I love that. And it's here's, being human, we all have different perspectives. So even saying that what shows up in your world as negative and positive is going to be different than what shows up in my world as negative and positive. And you as a listener, what's going to be negative and what's going to be positive in your world is going to be different. It's all about different perspectives.
Yeah, and you gotta learn not just say it, but really learn not to take things personal. Like last night, we had a book launch, and one of our co-authors was like, "Hey, meet this guy. He wants to write a book." And we're there, and I'm just listening to him, and I listen from the perspective of a coach because I'm a coach, right? I'm one of the
Yeah.
top business coaches and business consultants in Texas. And I said, "Man," I said, "why are you allowing people to dictate your book?" He goes, "Well, I'm not." I'm like, "Well, from what you said, you gave your manuscript to people and they give you suggestions, and one person gave you all these really good suggestions, but what if it's not your book after they give you all the suggestions? It's their book now." And he got mad. "Why are you trying to pitch me?" I'm like, "I'm not trying to pitch you. I'm just telling you, like, maybe your book is amazing and they're just seeing it from a different perspective that isn't your perspective."
Yeah.
I said, "You know how many, I go, you know how much input I got on my Millionaire Mind book? And we sold thousands." He goes, "Huh?" I said, "None, because it's my
Yeah.
story." And
Yeah.
one thing that people listen to this, ladies and gentlemen, you definitely want wisdom. You definitely need a coach. You definitely need a mentor. I've had really high level coaches by God's grace. But the truth is this: is that no one can take away your experiences in life. And I think that people miss that part in learning their habits, their successes, how to communicate. Why do they do that? Why do they communicate that way with their
Yeah.
body language? Why do they communicate that way under stress? Because they had an experience. What's the experience that you had that's causing you to communicate, behave, and act that way? Right?
Eh,
It's like, does
yeah.
that make sense what I'm saying? Like,
Oh,
you can tell me,
absolutely.
it's like you can tell me there's no God, but I've experienced God, so I don't care what you say or whatever book you put in front of me. I have
Yeah.
experienced God. Like, my wife should be dead. I should be dead. I got a scar from the top of my chest to the bottom of my abdominal because I tried to kill
Yeah.
myself. Like, You can't tell me there's not one.
Yeah.
It's my experience.
That's you. And knowing that, I believe in God as well. So I'm Christian, I'm Catholic, but that doesn't mean that everybody out there does. And knowing that, okay, there's still energy, karma, whatever it is that they believe in, but that doesn't mean I can't agree to disagree with you. I think that if I believe something different than you, would you agree that right now humans are struggling with that ability to agree to disagree? I mean, what are
Yeah,
your thoughts on that?
so I think, right, I think people are entitled to their opinions, and it's okay. But I
Yeah,
think that people need to understand that it's not my opinion, it's my experience.
yeah,
And it's a difference between an experience and an opinion sometimes. They're kind of one and the same, but
yeah,
they're one and the same, but they're also one and different. And you got to have the wisdom and the discernment
yeah,
to know when and which is which, right?
yeah,
My experience is I went to Denver and I had amazing food at XYZ restaurant. It's the best food ever. Well, it's my opinion because I experienced it. To somebody else that might not do that.
yeah.
But my experience is that life is precious because I almost got killed. I almost took my own life. Well, that you can't change. Like that's not that's not an
No,
that's more than an opinion. That's an experience. And I think people you have to use understanding because many times I've learned going back to what I was saying, right? The higher you go in business, the higher you go in life. You do two things, Kathy. One of two things. You either inspire the aspiring people that want to be more, do more, and have more, or you remind the people that ain't doing crap of what they're not doing, and those are the ones that are cynical, critical, and judgmental.
yeah.
And you got to not take it personal because it's them, not you, and they'll very easily want to deflect their insecurities on you or the lack of their lack of taking action. Oh, look at Kathy. Oh, it must be nice for Kathy. It must be nice, Kathy. It is because I put in the time, effort, and I mean, but they don't see that.
No, most people don't see that nor appreciate all the work it takes to get to where you're at. And we look at, think of Olympians, right? We're like, look at what they do and how they perform and the level that they do that. And yet it's taken them years, if not decades, to get to that level. A
Yeah.
daily commitment of food, of water, of balance, of working out, of taking care of their body, taking care of their mental, their mindset. But yet we just look at them for an hour that they're on TV and like, good job.
Yeah. And because of what we're talking about, because of the opinions of others, many people don't accept the upgrade in their life, in their business, and they get
Yeah.
stuck because they're too worried about what somebody's opinion is. And it's like, accept the upgrade. Like, you deserve it. And really, somebody gave me their opinion. They're like, I think your shirt's dumb, right? And not in a bad way. It was a client of mine. And I'm like, okay, like, I'm going to listen because you pay me money, but I'm going to listen because you're very successful. He goes, yeah. He goes, why do you have a positive and negative? Why don't you put right? He because of accept the upgrade, he went and bought he went and bought himself and his wife a Cadillac, right? Nice, because he accepted the upgrade. He accepted the challenge. He goes, but then you're telling me stop the self like that's one's a positive, one's a negative. So I'm like, okay, well, talk to me. He goes, well, why not two positives? And I'm like, well, damn, what's another positive, right? So really, we totally rebranded this and changed the subtitle of the book to say, accept the upgrade, you deserve it.
Nice.
And it's like so many people, right? Because no one's going to admit they're self-sabotaging, or they don't even know what it looks like. But people can recognize when they're like, man, do I deserve it? They know what that feels like because they don't feel deserving of something.
Ah, so good. That's what I call the itty bitty shitty committee. And, when I was writing my book, okay, Unleash Your Inner Voice, An Introvert's Guide to Combating the Itty Bitty Shitty Committee, I interviewed so many leaders and speakers and CEOs and all of that. And I would say 98% of the people that I talked to were they knew what I was talking about when it came to itty bitty shitty committee. There are some people that don't. They're like, I don't get it. I'm like, bless you, right? Because you don't understand that. So there are people out there that don't worry about what other people think. But most of us do. So what's one strategy our listeners can incorporate to combat their itty bitty shitty committee?
I think you need to understand what chapter you're on in your own journey. I think when you really read your own book, you really read your own story, and you understand that Daniel Gomez Inspires is on chapter 10 of his life, is what he's doing. Like I've only been doing what I'm doing going on 8 years, not even 8 years yet.
Yeah.
And like you referenced, right? You said 15 years. So, okay. But you can look at a Eric Thomas, you can look at somebody else and man, they're doing amazing. And then it makes you feel worse. But the truth is, Tony Robbins has been doing what he's doing as old as I am. You see what I'm
Yep.
saying? But then we'll make ourselves feel bad because of that. And I think you really got to understand and look at, okay, what what chapter am I on in my own journey to compare to this other person, right? And be transparent and honest with yourself, and then realize that that's one way. Well, you know what? I'm on chapter 5 in this, and they're on chapter 25. So I'm doing pretty good. And then it's like, okay, well, then aside from that, I have my own path. Like
Yeah.
my whole DNA is God, right? I talk about God in a lot of what I do, and it's part of our brand, a huge part of our brand, because it is our brand. And people don't understand that, and the ones that don't, well, then that's not my clientele.
Right.
But I think people try to look at somebody else's path and they try to make it their path and it doesn't work because the truth is I don't want to be somebody else's path because I'm unique. And I said this just the other day actually when I was in Detroit. I said when I realized that I could share the stage with John Maxwell and I could hold my own, and no disrespect to John, but I could literally hold my own, and
Yeah.
I had the audience leaning in. I was like, who can I not share the stage with that is going to intimidate me? And not intimidate me personally, but just, human nature as a speaker, when you get on these bigger stages, you either rise to the occasion or you choke.
Mm.
And I love those occasions because it just makes me a better speaker. I didn't realize it sometimes, but I've shared the stage with Les Brown, with John Maxwell, with Andy Elliott, with Tom Bilyeu, and it's like it's great because it's like, man, like I look at myself and say, Daniel, you're pretty damn badass. You're pretty good. And and I say that with all respect, right? Because it's just
Yeah.
it's beautiful when you realize. And I'll tell you this, going back to you deserve it. When God wants to promote you and bless you, you got to realize you do deserve it. But many people don't believe they deserve it at some itty bitty voice area within themselves sometimes.
Yeah. Okay, let's so recap this, my friends. For those of you listening, like listen to this. Do not. This is what I call the compare and despair. And
Yeah.
you just nailed it, right? You cannot compare your chapter 3 to somebody else's chapter 10 because for two reasons. One, you're different, and two, your path is what you said. Your path is not the same.
Yeah.
Your path,
Like I
no,
love, like I love speaking. Like that I enjoy speaking, and
yeah,
some people don't enjoy speaking. They'd rather have a small workshop or something. I'm like, well, no, I love to speak, and
yeah,
so my path is going to be different. And like who, I was talking to somebody, they were like, man, I didn't mean to cut you off, but they were like, well, I just want to retire. I'm like, well, I'm 51 years old, and I don't have an inclination of slowing down. They're like, well, what do you mean? I go, well, okay, we'll just say you are 65 years old, okay? You have another 25 years to live. What are you going to do with those 25 years? Just put it on cruise control and die and rot away?
yeah. We are there. And this is the thing that I think that between you and me, and I think also a lot of the people that we work with, that we're more mission driven. Like we're on a mission. Like there are people out there that will do the 9 to 5, and that's it. They're done. But as humans who want to live this full life, that you've got to embrace that mission, whatever your mission and vision is.
Yeah.
And for you, it's clearly, inspiring people to and embrace, to overcome that insecurity, right? To accept the upgrade.
Yes. Like we have this one of our clients, we'll call him Kenny. He's a young man, literally 72 years old. And this guy is like still learning, still growing. He's gonna have his own event. Like he's doing it. And I'm like, I love seeing him. Like, what keeps you going, man? He goes, man, I still got life in me. And I think society has taught us that as we approach our 60s, you need to downshift and slow down. And I think that's the worst thing you can do because I always talk about the great Bear Bryant, such an amazing coach, fire, brimstone type of coach,
Yeah.
won more championships than anybody else until Nick Saban came around. But he was Alabama before Nick Saban was Alabama. But as soon as he retired, he died because he lost his purpose.
Yeah.
He lost his meaning. And people teach you that you have to retire, and no, you don't. Like, why? Noah was over a couple of hundred years old. Like, why would I retire?
No, I mean, and that's a conversation that I don't know if I'll ever officially retire. Like, I think I'm just gonna reinvent myself every couple decades, right? And just keep doing what I'm doing. I probably wouldn't travel as much, or I don't know, but I don't see me not doing anything. I think you're the same way.
Yeah. Well,
You've
look at
got
John
too much.
Maxwell. We're talking about John Maxwell. Look at John Maxwell already like 80 something. I remember being at a conference with John Maxwell uh 5 years ago, and he's like, I'm just getting started. And he was already 80 something,
Yeah.
82 years old. So it's like it's I think what happens is as a human being, you shift off that s- life source in you, and then you slowly start to
Yeah.
deteriorate. And then no, like I don't want to retire. And do I want to be doing what I'm doing all the time? No, but I'm not. I'm gonna do something.
Yeah, you're going to keep stirring the pot. I love it. All right. So, shifting gears a little bit, but for those of you that are listening, if you are loving what you hearing here, subscribe to Breaking Bad Communication, this podcast. Share it with somebody. There's so much juiciness that we bring here to help and support you so that you break bad and you show up like a rock star. Okay, so here's a question for you. What communication shift have you made that other people then responded to you in a positive way?
I think it's listening.
Oh, can you say that again?
It's listening.
Tell me
Most
more
people
about that.
most people are bad listeners, and I will say most people. I can say most people in this situation because I was one of them. I was one of them. People listen to react and respond instead of listen to understand.
Yeah.
People listen to react, people listen to respond. And I think we've all had a conversation in our journey where you're not even done speaking and somebody's already talking over you or trying to give you an answer. And I'm like, you're not listening. Like the worst thing about that, if you want to go, let's go deeper on that.
Yes, please.
If you're not listening, you're not receiving.
Say that again, please.
The deeper part, if you're not listening, you're not receiving.
Yes.
So you wake up, you've had a challenging month of August, and you're saying, God, give me a sign. God, talk to me. And then God brings you Kathy, and Kathy's trying to pour into you. And every other word or sentence Kathy says, you're just responding and reacting instead of listening. And Kathy has the answer, but since you're not listening,
Mhm.
you're not receiving what you need.
And this is one of the this is a break bad moment. Okay, you guys listening. This is a break bad moment. Listening is a huge mistake, or I should say the lack of listening is a huge mistake most people, most organizations, most families make. They hear, but they don't listen. They don't
Yeah.
understand. And what would you say? What would you suggest our listeners do to break bad and listen more?
I, I would say this, listen to understand your customers' needs and wants. Because the truth is this, your customer, your potential client, your prospect is going to tell you everything you need to know to help them. They're going to tell you everything you need to know to ask for the business, right? And when you're selling them, but really you're not selling them to where you're selling them. You're like, no, like I'm here to great. So a client, we just onboarded her Monday, and I just called. It was just a conversation, right? I go to Denver, say hi. I go to California, say hi, and so I'm just, hey, how you been? And we're just talking, and I'm listening to her, and I'm like, yeah. And I said, you know what? She goes, what? I said, I can help you. She goes, really? She goes, yeah. This is what I do. She's like, do you really? I'm like, yeah. So she onboarded, and on our first session, she was totally transparent with me. She goes, I gave you my money, I was asking myself with my logic, did he just like take advantage of my feelings of how I was doing it? But she told me this, and I was like, well, no, like I'm listening to your heart because I'm listening to you,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I can help you, right? And I think
Yeah.
so many times since we don't listen, we don't realize that we have the solution to their problem because the truth is they don't have a problem. They just haven't discovered the solution yet.
Yes.
And we're the solution for many times of what people need. And she's like, wow. And because I took time to explain that to her and really like now I'm more right. What I said earlier, I'm more caring, I'm more compassionate. She goes, well, I want to go to that other event now. And she spent another couple of thousand with us because I took the time. Like she felt my heart in that. And I think
Yeah.
sometimes this was me. I can speak for me. When someone maybe would say that, I would get defensive and like no, like because they're speaking why they're speaking from their experiences. Because you and I both know we made one of the biggest mistakes. You out there as a young entrepreneur, you spend $5,000 and you think that's going to spend that. You think that's your only investment forever, and it's not. You
Right?
follow me? So
Yeah. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
so wait. So that's the first mistake in your perspective that you have. But the second thing is, there's going to come a time where you're going to make a $5,000 investment. It's going to be like, damn, this didn't give me anything. And it is what it is, right? It is what it is. It's wisdom. I mean, it's part of the journey. And in that aspect, I'm like, okay, so I understand from experiences that I've had that how people can feel that way. So now I take that time to be like, okay, I'm not taking it personal. I'm just maybe she's speaking from an experience that I've had too, and
Yeah.
it's good. But when you really listen, you can hear their heart, you can hear their struggles, you can hear their problems, and it's like I can solve that problem. Let's make that
Yeah.
so-called problem solved, and we can help you with that. And the first she says, man, the first session we had, she was blown away. She goes, man, like I would pay this again.
Yeah. I mean, you love hearing clients say that. I mean, it's one of the best things because you're like, well, first of all, you hear them, but then they are hearing you, right?
Yeah.
And here to follow up with what you're because I love that. So even when your clients, your prospects, challenge you a little bit, it's to hear, okay, it's about them. So why are they challenging you? It has nothing to do. So why go into your emotional state to respond? So kind of let that go and just hear them and just actually informationally respond versus emotionally respond. Because
Mm.
that's, I did 25 years litigation, right? So that's all we did was argue. And you've got to be able to argue and agree to disagree, right? And see other people's perspectives. And when you're able to bring that into real world situations, not that trial wasn't real world, but that's just, it's small, right? It's in its own little bubble. In everyday situations, people are sharing and they're being vulnerable and they're telling their truth, not to attack us. So to
Yeah.
take a moment to pace yourself, I've talked about the pace framework, right? And then take that breath and respond with information to maybe even one, what makes you say that, right? To learn more, but to really really hear them. I love what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, but it goes deeper than that. So it's not even so
Yeah.
you said this a couple of times. It's more than agree to disagree. You got to understand that sometimes people just ain't your client, and
Oh,
you have to be willing to walk away from a $5,000 contract or a $10,000 deal.
yeah.
And when me and my daughter Brittany started talking about this, that I don't think that's not our author. Yeah, but they got
Yeah.
$10,000 they're ready to pay right now, but that's not in alignment with our values. So even if I disagree or agree, no, that's not who we are. And in having some of our worst, I don't want to say worst months, right? We'll just say lowest revenue months that we needed
Okay.
revenue, we walked away from it, and 3 months later, God's flourishing us because we honored Him and we sowed the seed.
Yeah.
You follow,
I
right?
love, I do. I do. And another way to say this is what, um, and I've heard this through another mentor, and it really, really hit with me. This is a couple years ago, and it's when we're holding on so tightly to the do's, the don'ts, the shoulda, woulda, coulda, all of this stuff, and it's like, this is, I need this, I need this, and when we're holding on so tight, we cannot open to receive what we need.
So I'll
So
give
if
it to you
we're,
another way.
yeah,
When you let it go, God lets it flow.
oh,
When you let it go, God lets it flow.
oh, I love that.
So I let go of that idea or that belief that everybody was an author for us and they're not. But because I did it in a way to honor him, he let it flow even more in this area, and it just it really started turning it around. Instead of chasing, now we're attracting. And but I
Yes.
had to change. You as a human being have to change, and I can't wait till next year because next year, like, people say, "How do you do that?" I was like, "I don't know, just God's grace." Like, we're attracting the right people now. And I was sharing with the client earlier because he was just like kind of going through some deeper stuff, and I said, "Well, you don't have to figure it all out. Like, you're trying to figure all the details out, but when you let it go, God lets it flow." So not just in business and finances, but so we had interviewed this one young lady because we were looking for somebody else. Me and Brittany had been talking about it, and I was like, "Well, maybe so and so," and it just something that didn't seem right. I was like, "Nah, I think we need to pass on this person." And but she was a Christian, she was a believer, but even at that, it just wasn't. I didn't feel right about it. We just
Yeah.
not that she was bad, it just wasn't what we needed. And then you try to make it happen, and no, like, we get on a call for a book, right, with one of our authors, and I'm like, the Holy Spirit just moved, and it was just, it was weird, but in a good way, because it's like, I don't think we're supposed to talk about the book today. And then it turns out like, why I was actually thinking about coming to work for y'all. I'm like, you were? And now she's one of
Ah,
our amazing team members, and it's been a big blessing. But
ah,
we didn't force it to happen. We just attracted the right person. But I had to change, right? People want change, but they don't want to change. Listen to what I'm saying. You want change, but you don't want to change. It doesn't work that way. You got to change. You have to change in your thinking. You have
Yes.
to change in your approach. You have to change in so many ways. And if not, you're going to keep getting the same result. So I had to change for everything to change.
Yeah. And we're constantly changing. That's the one thing you can count on. Okay, the version of Kathy that sits here today is different than the one last year, 5 years ago. All of that. We are the version of you that's sitting here today, Mr. Gomez, is very different than the one that was last year, 10 years ago. We have to ever be evolving and know that change is, it's actually a blessing.
Yes. Yeah. And the thing is, though, the truth is, most people fight change, though.
They do.
I mean, that's the reality of it. And I was one of those people, but until you really become one of those, that small percentage that embraces the change, embodies the change, what can I learn from the change? How do I need to change?
Yeah.
And it's just, and it's not that you don't bring value or there's nothing, right? It's not about a value proposition. It's just that you have to be changing and growing and changing and maturing. And people fight it, and when they fight it, that's when they get stuck, frustrated, and miserable, and then it just goes kind of right. If you're not being creative, then you're regressing.
Yeah.
If you're not
Yeah.
being, how can I say it right? If you're not, if when you're green, you grow. When you're ripe, you rot. And if you're not being in
Oh,
that creative mindset, if you're not going forward, you're going backwards, and it's the reality of it.
yes. Yes. Oh, I love that. Okay, I could talk forever. So I've got a couple questions that I'm going to ask you in a minute. So how can our audience find you?
Well, great question. As a matter of fact, I got a special gift for your audience. They can text the word text the word breakthrough, and text it to 210-210-942-5059. That's 5059. And I'm going to give your audience a complimentary discovery session to help them with their breakthrough and to help them with their listening and what is it that they need to work on. Because one thing I realize is you cannot outgive God and you got to give back, right? I'm where I'm at because people
Yeah.
have poured into me. So I want to give your audience, I want to give the audience of your amazing podcast here a complimentary breakthrough session. Just text the word breakthrough 210 210 942 5059, and that's my gift to them. And then you can follow me on social media. My brand is Daniel Gomez Inspires DG. You see that everywhere. That's our mother brand. That's our
Yeah.
flagship brand. And we're on Facebook, Instagram, and then Daniel Gomez on LinkedIn. So just connect with me on social media. We love to hear from you, everybody.
Perfect. And for those of you that are driving, I will have all the links in the notes here so that you can just open this up when you get to a safe place and just click the link. I
Click the link below.
Click the link. I make it ridiculously easy. Okay, so here's something I want to ask a few questions just so we get to know you a little bit more personally um, before we wrap up. So would you say you are a morning or night person?
Morning person.
Morning person.
Definitely a morning person. I wake up. I
Yeah.
wake up. I wake up the chickens.
Well, I'm gonna say I've seen you early in the morning and you're a happy person. So you're one of the few people that I'm actually allowed to talk to. So I love that. Would you say you are a sweet or salty?
Uh, I'm a sweet person.
You're sweet. Okay.
Yeah, not I'm not salty. I'm sweet. I'm a morning sweet Danish roll.
Nice. Okay. So don't overthink any of these questions, but let's say if you wanted a fantastic meal, is it dinner at home, a nice home cooked, or is it out at a restaurant?
It depends on the occasion.
Okay. Tell me more.
It just depends on the occasion, right? Sometimes it's our anniversary, so we want to go eat a nice steak out. But if I've been traveling and I'm tired of eating hotel food, I just want to be home and I'll be happy with the sandwich, believe it or not.
Love it. Okay, so if you wanted something like comfort, would you eat it or you drink it?
Actually, I would probably eat it. I would eat ice cream.
Eat ice cream?
I'm an ice cream
Oh,
person.
good to know. All right, I'm gonna put that in my little brain bank. Um, Beach or mountains?
Neither. Lake.
Lake. Okay.
I don't like salt water. I like fresh water, but I would side with the side of the ocean because it's water, but neither. It would be the lake. I'm a lake person. See,
Okay.
I'm dark not because I'm Mexican. I'm dark because I'm always out on the boat in the lake.
Love it. Awesome. Okay, so if you were to read a book, is it paper or Kindle?
Neither. Audible.
Audible. I get
It would
that
be
every now and then.
but it would be paper. I've never been a Kindle version. It hurts my eyes, and I like to write. I like to take notes. If you can see, this is my handy dandy calendar, so I write in my calendar, so I write in my books. So it'd be paper.
I love it. I like the paper too, especially the business books. The fun books will be Kindle, but for the most part, I've got paper. I've got John Maxwell over here too, so I get it. All right. For entertainment purposes, are you like a movie or would you binge watch a series?
Movie. I'm
Movie?
a movie person. Yeah, I like
You're a movie.
movies.
Awesome. And then you probably, I would say you already know this, but don't overthink it. As you like walk, have you ever watched the movie Zoolander?
Mm-mm. No
Okay,
Zoolander.
no Zoolander. Okay, it's about um top male models. Okay, so you've got, and it's Ben Stiller, so it's a comedy, right? And he every time he walks in a room, he's got a walk-on song. So it's his theme music. What is your walk-on song?
AC/DC Back in Black.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I love it. That's awesome. I had Angus and Malcolm were my dogs.
Yeah.
Way back when, 20 years ago, from the
See,
AC/DC group.
because I walk on with right. I don't walk on with confidence. I walk on with confidence. So you got to let it strut when you're walking with God.
Oh, I love it. You're awesome and amazing. And thank you so much for being here and sharing your time and talents and your gift with our audience today. I'm truly honored that you are here and to call you friend.
No, well, thank you for having me. It was actually it's hard to believe the hour flew by already, but it just
I know.
when you're having so I want to ask you a question.
Ooh, okay.
What's your favorite cereal?
I don't eat cereal.
See, so see, my other thing would be if I was to eat something, I would eat cereal at night.
You're kidding me. My husband
No.
does the same thing. He eats it's like Cocoa Puffs or apple cinnamon Cheerios.
Oh, Cocoa Puffs with the banana are awesome, and then the milk turns chocolate, and I can eat that. I can coach somebody how to make a mean bowl of cereal. But Kathy, thank you for having me. It was an amazing time, and ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here with me and Kathy. And subscribe to her show. She's a rock star, and I'm
Aw.
grateful to be here with you, Kathy. Thank you so much.
Oh, truly, truly honored to have you here. So, thank you, my friends, for tuning in and listening to Breaking Bad Communication. If today's episode sparked a new perspective or gave you a tool that you can actually use, that's the kind of conversation we love. Remember, powerful communication isn't about saying more, it's about saying what really matters with confidence, clarity, and purpose. If you're ready to speak up, stand out, lead with your voice, I'm here for you. Be sure to share, leave a review if this hits home. And until next time, keep showing up, speaking up, and let's keep breaking bad together.
Woo, let's go. Ring the bell.